All right, guys. We'll call before the camera turns on. It's probably already going. All right, we are live, and today we are doing a training on HighLevel's new feature where you can take video testimonials. So basically, this is a page where a customer lands on it, and it'll let them turn on their camera on their browser so they can get a testimonial done without you having to text them and say, "Hey, can you send me a video?" Makes it much more natural, smooth, and quick. You can use these in some pretty cool places. Like I've seen a lot of other companies put it before somebody becomes an affiliate. And that way you just start collecting testimonials from customers, obviously, who have something good to say because they're trying to be an affiliate. It's a great time to ask somebody for a review. So there's another tool called Video Ask. This was the common tool people would use for this up until this moment. And so for any high level affiliates, this is a great time for you to go after their customers. And I've got a tool that I know can give you the whole list of all their customers. So I even checked and it's definitely on there. So guys, hit me go to the link in my bio, join the community. You'll get the free master template. On the second half of this meeting, I'm going to show you guys how to use the master template to quickly get the flows right for your setup, whether it's a prompt or a flow that goes out to people when they first put their information in your website, so that you've got everything you need to go install it into your workflows. So we're going to cover two things on this one, really. But first, I'm going to show you guys how I make a video testimonial page. And I think it has a pre-made funnel that you can set up. So we're going to look around, and I'm also going to show you guys how I'm going to make a custom funnel. I'm going to make one for my site and show how I do a custom coded site inside of the HighLevel builder. So that's everything we're going to cover. And now I'm going to head into HighLevel. And I believe I already turned this on in Labs, but we'll double check. And I am sick. Apologize for the cough. I think Labs is right there. The pencil. Oh, this is another big one. So HighLevel now has a desktop app for Mac OS and Windows. I've been waiting for that for a long time. I wonder if it would even work on tablets, because we had a guy, Fritz, who was having a hard time seeing things on his tablet. But I'm super excited to download that, as I'm sure everybody else is, and we'll show that on the next training. So prospecting free tier is another cool one. Sub account level. You can also clone your own voice and import it from 11 Labs too, which is another cool one I saw come out, and we'll do a training on that very soon as well. Now, when you go into your labs, I've only had issues one time out of 4 years from turning things on in labs. So I usually turn everything on. Is this already active? Okay. So now once it's on, you're going to go into the sub account. I'm going to pull this up just so I don't miss the step, which tab this is in. Here it is. And it is in the reputation tab. Reputation, video testimonials, and we got a cool onboarding flow. So we're going to create a video collector. Oh, I want to do a video widget. Let's see if this is bottom corner or... Oh, so there's a few elements to this. I think the video widget displays your videos possibly. I'm going to start at the beginning. Yep, and so you've got so it is like a widget here. And this is what you want to set up first. So you can customize your logo. You can have your face right here, which is what I'm going to do. And we'll start at the top. So we'd love to hear from you. I'm not going to change things that are unnecessary just for the purpose of moving quickly. And I'm not going to spend time pulling that image out of my phone to use here either, because I want to get through the functionality. But you guys can add a video image there that'll show up right here. You can give a prompt for them to record. You can even say, we want know our affiliates love our service, so we thought it would be a great time to ask you to give us a shout out. And save. So this widget will show on a desktop and a mobile device differently. It is a widget. So I'm going to go next. Questions page. So you can have them tell you about the experience. You can add questions if you want. And I would prefer to have minimal friction. Maybe just one, tell me about the experience. Attribution page. Your info headline. Yeah, that's good enough. You can also customize your logo and colors here. That would be this one instead of this one. So this is the icon that's like the person requesting a review. That'd be a good place to put your face. And then right here is the one where it's just your logo. You can customize all that pretty easy. So I think this is ready to actually use. So I'm going to say live demo. I think that's done. So I'm going to go here to my video collector, which is where we get their reviews. And maybe this is a whole page instead of a widget. Create a video widget. Let's just double check that this isn't for collecting them. Yeah, this just shows all of your video testimonials. Well, but maybe not. Drop a video button, I imagine, would take them to the place where they can leave one. Okay, that opens up this link. So in that case, it looks like you want to send this out like a review request rather than putting it. You can do that, or you can put the link on your site somewhere. And I was wanting to see if I could gate it for so I could have them leave it before they drop the link to the affiliate, before they become an affiliate. It looks like that might not be possible until they make it where you can post a code for this. I'm gonna double check one more time I'm not missing something. But yeah, no, it's just through a request for now or a link click, and it doesn't look like you can change the redirect after. I'm sure they'll add these functionalities later. That's why we explore how to best use these things. And now I can send a request to anyone I want for a video review, like right in this screen, or I can put the link on my website. And I don't think I need to show how to paste a link onto a website. It's pretty straightforward. You just go here to copy link and you paste it into your builder. Hey, Sarah, good to see you.
Hey,
And
hi.
hey, good to see you. The other thing I was going to show, does anybody have questions on the review tool? I think we've explored that pretty well. And if you don't, then I'm going to show the master template now. And Sarah, I've got an update for you. I just need to, I'll call you after the meeting. I'm gonna need to double check the stuff you sent back over yesterday. Did you get my email, Sarah, that you were waiting on? Did you reply to it? Probably not. I'll call you after later. And I can't hear you. I just read your lips for the first part. You're on mute. Let me help you.
It's
There you
really
go.
good. Okay, no, Well, yeah, I got a couple of them yesterday, a reminder and then email from Rob or that one.
Yeah, I sent you one, and I think we were looking for you to connect me with the guy who set up your other bot. My team also told me you already had some bots in there, and I said, hey, we only want to set up the ones she doesn't have. So I think I just need to communicate with your guy.
My guy is which guy? The Go High Level guy or the Zilla guy?
Didn't you tell me you had some guy that set up a bot for you already or something like that?
That's
A
just
chat bot?
I don't think it's a bot. I think he just did the AI phones
Okay. Maybe.
answering
All right. Maybe it's
on
just a
Go High
conversation I
Level.
had. Well, either way, I'll link with the team, and if you saw my email, you can still link us with that guy, and then we can get it all figured out. But I'll call you after. So right now, I need to do the rest of this training. Michelle's been waiting for a minute, and
Do you
and then
need me now or can I just jump off?
you can jump off. You're good, unless you want to see
Okay.
this master template training, but you probably don't need.
Okay,
Um,
thanks.
no problem. So, guys, when we do a onboarding, there are templates that we have for the way every single type of prompt should look for my recommended way to set these things up, which is generally not too many qualifications, pretty much straight to booking when it comes to AI prompts. For my follow-up flows, I think about 6 or 7 outreaches on every channel: SMS, email, outbound voice. Sometimes a client will want to add in WhatsApp, but those are the standard things that you want to have: SMS, email, outbound voice. And outbound voice is only going to work if your leads are coming through a high-level form fill. So it'd work on a website, or it could work on Facebook if you're using a high-level form instead of the Facebook instant form, which is always kind of a catch-22 because the Facebook instant form is going to get you more leads. Um, you can also have like an AI agent fill your form out with the client's information after they opt into the Facebook form. That's kind of a workaround, or a person do it. But this is what we call the SOP. So when we onboard a client, for every type of project, we have a different SOP. And let me go to my general one instead of the one that's for Jorge. So this is what it looks like. We have one of these for Meta Ads campaigns. We have one of these for Google Ads campaigns. We have one for SEO setup, website development, and it's going to basically have everything we need to know that we're on the same page with the client. So if it's a website, for instance, it's going to be the template of like, here's the theme that we're proposing, and here is all the copy of the website. If it is a high level account, there's a lot of different things that could be set up. And so on that onboarding form, we have check boxes that say, are you doing AI voice, inbound, outbound, conversational AI? Do you need an opt-in nurture for your website? Do you need a reactivation flow? Do you want a community engagement flow? Do whatever, all the different parts. So we have this document here, and basically you have one of these tabs for every box you check. Now, if you don't have an onboarding flow with the form set up and all that kind of stuff, or if you're just doing this for yourself one time and you don't need that, this document's a great thing to start with. It's got our best practices, and if you don't, well, let me explain this part too. So we take this template, we take the client's website or this completed knowledge base, and those are really the seeds for generating all of the other things below here. So if you just have this document, you can go in and write all of your answers for all of these things. And you can add more, the more context, the better. This is essentially going to be the knowledge base for your agents to reference, and it's going to be used as a template for creating some of these flows. So once you have the knowledge base completed, you can give ChatGPT your website and this knowledge base, and you can say, hey, here's the AI chat template I want to customize for this client or for myself using the website and the knowledge base I provided. And it's going to spit you out a first version. So that first version is what we look at with a client about 2 days after they submit an onboarding form. So they drop this in our client space. They can see it before our meeting, but usually on that third day or second day, we're meeting and looking over this together. We go through each tab, we read through it, and when we get the approval from the client, the other good thing about having it in a document like this is that you can use ChatGPT to rewrite the whole thing just like that. And then my team is clear to go ahead and put it in and do like the monotonous manual entry part. So Having it all in a document and keeping like a document like this for all of your clients is the best way to serve them quickly. And then if there's ever something that they want to change, it's pretty easy for the client to even go in here and redo it with chat, or for me on a group call to pull this up and then redo it with chat and paste it back in there. So it works pretty smoothly. And I'll show a quick demo. Well, I don't have my knowledge base filled out here. It's pretty straightforward. You guys know how to work with ChatGPT, I'm going to assume. So that's really the purpose of this. And let's say you're one of my done for you clients. You can just go into your client space. You'll always have this document. It's always going to be shared with you. If you make a change, we can track the change history, but just notify the team by going into putting in a ticket through the client space, which is right here. It's a clients.massmarket.ai, and all my clients have this link. You can go right here, put in a request and say, hey, I updated this section on the SOP. It's good to go. I'm always here to help guide you guys to do that kind of stuff. But certain clients are going to, once they're into the flow, they understand that this is how they can take the reins and get things done really quick. So, Michelle, you were wanting to understand this. Why don't you tell me if you have any questions or if that was helpful and what I can do to be more helpful?
No, yeah, that was helpful. I guess I just thought where you have the double, they're not brackets, whatever those things are,
Yeah,
that was going to be auto-filled by something. Like if you were to, maybe this is a go high level template or something.
they preload with our onboarding forms, and we
Okay.
could give you one, um, but essentially it you can still tell what's supposed to go there.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
our onboarding form is like tied into a bunch of different pipelines, and I think we have never built a template for somebody to set up our type of onboarding form system. This project management system we just came out with took us like months to get finalized, but it's all tied to this right here. And so for our white
Okay.
label clients, and Michelle, even for you, now that we're doing done for you hours for everybody that's an affiliate. So that's gonna be my big announcement on the masterclass we've got coming up in January. But even now, it's starting. And so every 97 you spend with HighLevel through my link, you get an extra hour of support per month. And so for most people on HighLevel, after their initial setup, that's all they're gonna need. Um, and HighLevel pays me instead of you paying me, and you don't have to pay any more. So each of these has its own onboarding form that triggers its creation of its own type of SOP. Um, the only thing that's kind of tough with totally automating that process is that ChatGPT accessing the internet and thinking doesn't work very well through Zapier, or the thinking process and the web search. That doesn't really work too well besides in chat. And so I have my team manually do it. We're working to where we can use the Ask AI agents to do that. And there are it should be able to before too long. But my sub account. Um, so I wanted to we've also finished this memory integration tool, which is going to allow us to do that. But we're working on an agent that you can say, hey, I just did the onboarding form. Can you prepare the SOP? And that way it can get served up quickly. But there's a pretty good chance that thinking quality is not going to be as good as what I get in chat. And I'm always going to go for best quality with my clients. It's not like it takes that long to plug it into chat. Um, so
Good.
we did finish something else that's really cool that we're about to share with everybody. We had a memory unification flow. That was one thing we talked about way back at the last masterclass a year ago. And the intention is that you're taking every call transcript, every inbound. Well, actually, no. Back then, it was just AI voice and AI chat. It would keep a summary of those conversations for the contact. But now we've got it patched in where um, we have Fireflies transcripts. So every time a Fireflies meeting ends, every time a call ends, an AI call ends, inbound message is received, all of that's updating the customer journey notes inside our HighLevel. So it's got everything. And then you take the prompt for the customer journey notes or the custom field, and you drop that into your conversation AI prompt and to your voice AI prompt. So literally, you could get off a Fireflies meeting, and a client could call the number and say, "Hey, what did you say about this?" And it would know. Or what are our next steps? And it would know. And they can text and say, "Where just say I log in?" And it would know. So super cool. And I've also been building out, these are new websites I've been putting together just in ChatGPT. This is the one I gave you, Michelle, that explains the done for you hours I was talking about. So it's the tiers don't align exactly with HighLevel's tiers. And then obviously you can just pay to be on one of these plans if you wanted to, but it's designed so that you upgrade your agency. Now, if you're just a small business owner and you only going to need starter plan plus AI employees, so you only get to 200 there. But we have very affordable maintenance plans too that you can get on top of one of these. But if you're an agency and you've got 50 clients in your agency, and you realize that, hey, with AI Employee Unlimited, it's actually $400 cheaper than any other outbound voice platform. You can go ahead and have me help you turn that on for all your accounts. We could set it up for all your accounts, and then you're going to get 50 hours of support from my team a month. So you're totally covered on your whole agency fulfillment without spending any more than you normally would for your clients. And by doing that, you're actually going to be making your clients happier because that outbound voice is amazing. Now, don't get me wrong, outbound voice does not replace a caller. Like, you need to have a person that the outbound voice helps. It's going to pay for itself for sure. But if you're running ads, or unless you're just so loaded that it doesn't matter, you need to call your leads on top of that. Even I, being one of the first people in the world to do outbound voice, I've got my chat going, my outbound voice going, and I have one appointment setter. But because I have the AI helping on in so many different ways, I had 15 appointments yesterday, new ones, and I'm only one appointment setter. So obviously the majority are not coming from that appointment setter. And even still, just another note about AI best practices, you always want to take them straight to a calendar form. You do a 2-step lead form with their information and then the calendar, because people can book faster through that than AI. The AI should be your fallback when they choose not to book, but they gave you the first part of they gave you their name, phone, email, or for rescheduling. So, oh, and yeah, so these are all going to be added to our knowledge base as well. And I'm sure our AI will be much better at helping people when it has all the context from Zoom calls and every other channel of communication. As long as you don't call them off your personal cell phone, it'll have everything. So this workflow is one we're putting together into a new snapshot. It's going to be our advanced AI snapshot. It'll have a reviews AI flow we're working on. I was hoping it could have a gated testimonial, but it looks like that's not going to be embeddable yet. It has the outbound voice set up. And I just gave that to you anyway, Michelle. That's basically that document. I'm not going to share that with everybody that's not on the advanced tier, but you might be on an AI employee. I'm not sure. Either way, you've got it. And it'll have the memory unification. So memory unification used to not be possible because they would charge so much for a GPT execution in workflow, HighLevel would, that it didn't make sense. You don't want to pay 2 cents every time you get an inbound message. Now they've gotten it down to where you're paying 5% below the true OpenAI cost, which means it's extremely cost effective. And there's no reason you shouldn't turn this on. It does require Zapier to connect Fireflies to HighLevel, and I've tried connecting a lot of different note takers for clients, and Fireflies is the only one that I've been able to properly, search the right contact and update it from HighLevel, because it includes like their email address in the Zapier outputs and stuff like that. So we'll be dropping that Zapier flow, and then it's a Zapier flow and then a few workflows, and you can unify your memory. And then from there, I guess while I got you guys on here, I'll explain another nuance of it. There's also to use that information. That's where Ask AI comes in. So that way your whole team could go right here, and instead of texting the client or texting me first, they can search right here and get full context on all the meetings that were everything that client ever said to us. But you do have to create an agent that knows how to do that. So you create an agent called client update or client questions. And that agent knows to go and look at your notes field and to go look at that customer journey field and to look at the conversations. And so that's the part we got to do next. And we'll obviously include that in the snapshot once that part's done too. But even still, just having, if I go into somebody I had a meeting with a little bit ago. I can go in the notes. You know what? Let me get off of that screen because that's going to pull up all his information when I go into there. You can see the link to the Fireflies transcript and the full transcript of the call in the notes. I just don't want to get this video taken down from popping a phone number up there. When I pull up his contact, it's exactly what's going to happen. So got all that stuff coming down the works for you guys. I know I kind of went into some weeds. Does anybody have any questions about some of the stuff I talked about, whether or not it was part of the intended speaking points? That's fine with me. Guys, if you want to join the community or need help with anything we talked about, just respond to the message you booked from. Or if you're not part of the community yet, head up to the link in the bio somewhere and there'll be a spot for you to put your information in and connect with us. You'll get a text from us and our AI and you can just, and I'll see it. So thanks everybody for coming. Jorge, I'll see you tomorrow. And Rick, I'll see you at 5. Thank you guys so much. And I love helping you guys. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye,
guys.